Howdy y'all, I am Ice Gold, and today I've got a topic that I would usually save for MCSG, but this is too important to put in a video that only like 1 to 200 of you are going to watch, so get clickbaited. Nah, but I'm playing. The real reason why y'all are here and why I'm recording a Wiz video for this is because today, 21st of October, is the day where early voting starts in my home state of Texas. And seeing as, you know, Texas is a state that has undergone quite a number of voter suppression efforts, Texas is one of the last states to open up early voting. And, you know, a lot of states have already begun with early voting. It's just Texas starts today. I'm sure a lot of y'all states start today, depending on where y'all live. But with that in mind, I think that if you are at least 18, and let's be real, all of us, you know, played Wiz as a kid and came back to it much later. So that's who I'm reaching with this. But if you are registered to vote, then definitely get out and vote. This is very important, and it's why I'm talking about it in a Wiz video. I mean, I hope I'm not the only Wiz person you see doing this, because this really is important. You can influence, well, I mean, depending on the state you live in, but depending on the state you live in, right, you can influence the next 4 years of your life. And, you know, that can be done just by voting, like I said, you know, and early voting is well underway at the point where I'm uploading this video. Polls are open from, you know, until 7 p.m. I think it's like 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. in a lot of locations. So for this week, you can go vote from, you know, those time slots. And in Texas, at least, you can. There's only one weekend to vote here in Texas, and I imagine in some other states it's going to be like this too. But fortunately, you can go vote this weekend, the October 26th and 27th. That's a Saturday and Sunday. I personally am making plans to go on the 27th. It's going to be a nice little 3-hour drive, but look, I'm calling about that. Maybe I'll speed a little just to cut that number down. But yeah, that's the general gist of things. You've got to. It's like if you're registered to vote, definitely go out and do it. Make a plan to go do it. Carpool with some of your friends. I'm probably going to be doing that for people registered in my hometown's county. And just, I mean, the more people that vote, the better. I've said this before, I hope. And yeah, I mean, definitely go out and do it. If you are, you know, a long way from home, you may still have time, depending on the state. I think in most states, as of today, you can still request a mail-in ballot or an absentee ballot, or you can vote just wherever you are, even if you're not in your home county and you're kind of far away, as long as you're in the state, by the way. If you're not in the state, you can't do this, but, I mean, if you're out of state, you can request mail-in or absentee, but if you are in state, you can also request a limited or provisional ballot. If you are in, say, I don't know, the Rio Grande Valley here in Texas, but you live in Lubbock, which is all the way up in the Panhandle. So, or not like all the way up in the Panhandle, but pretty close. So it's a pretty far distance. You probably won't want to drive, you know, 10-ish hours just to go do that, but you can request a provisional ballot if you are just somewhere else in the state and don't want to take a drive. That is a dope-ass badge. I'm probably going to have to end up getting that at some point, but yeah, it's like you can, if you don't want to take the drive, those are your options. You can vote in the statewide races with a provisional ballot, and you could still go do that. You can still go request that, and that's another way that you can vote without having to, you know, drive a long way. And you can avoid what I'm gonna inevitably have to do, but I will happily do it because, you know, y'all know me at this point. Y'all have seen, you know, 10 MCSG videos where I've talked about stuff that doesn't relate to Wiz, so it's like a lot of them recently have been having to do with this. And Yeah, I mean, I can't stress this enough. Voting is important, and, you know, this election, like I said at the beginning, will determine what y'all's life is like for the next 4 years. So, you know, go out, go do it, do your thing, and vote when you can. So, with 2-ish weeks out until election day as I speak right now, it'll be Monday the 21st through Friday, November 1st for Texas early voting, and the election day itself is on the 5th of November. But let me tell you something. If you go out and vote on election day, like, it's called election day for a reason. It's like everybody is gonna be there, and that means long lines. You might not get into the polling place by 7 p.m. Depending on the time of day that you go. So that is why early voting is important. That's why I'm making this video today. And because, I mean, look, if you want your vote to count, if you want to go do it and have it count, then you definitely want to square that away early, because, you know, there's all sorts of complications that can arise, and it's just better not to risk that, and just go out and do it as soon as you can. And if you can't do it as soon as you can, like me, you know, I've still got classes all this week, you can make a plan to go do it just at some point in the future. You can, you know, take a weekend to do it. You can do whatever you need to do, but as long as you get out and do it, that's what matters. And for the last little bit of this video, I want to talk about where elections are going to matter the most. I did say at the beginning, it kind of matters what state you live in as to how much you can really sway the outcome of this election. There are 7 major swing states that will determine the outcome of this, and those are, if you live in the following states: Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, Georgia, Arizona, and Nevada. If you live in those 7, go do it. I know a number of those still have registration open, although maybe registration closes today in some of them. It depends on what state you live in. I have an MCSG video. MCSG number 10 covers the dates for all of the states for registration. So it's passed in a lot of places, but I think in Wisconsin, for example, you can absolutely still register. So yeah, just get that done if you haven't, and if it's still an option. But of course, go vote. And, you know, that's those 7 states. That's where the presidential election, at least, is going to matter the most. But there's other statewide races in other places that matter a lot. There's Senate races in Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Arizona, and Nevada. 5 out of the main 7 have a Senate election this cycle, and that's also really important that you go out and vote in those elections. And there's also a few more Senate elections that could really change things up. Like, it could really tilt the balance in one party's favor, and that those states are Montana. Out of all states, Montana. It's like your vote is probably not going to matter up there if you're thinking about presidential, but for the Senate race, that is going to surely be close. There's also Ohio, also not as close of a state at the presidential level, but Sherrod Brown up there, you know, he's a Democrat in a red state. You know, his election is going to be pretty important. So if you're in Ohio, you can vote in that race. And then Florida has also got one going on. Usually Florida's not that competitive, but everybody over there hates Rick Scott, so that race is somehow competitive, even though Florida has been trending right for the last, like, decade or so. And then lastly, if you live in the Lone Star State, like me, fellow Texans, get out and vote in the Senate race with Colin Allred and Ted Cruz. So those are all the states where your vote is going to matter the most. So if you live in those, like, 11 or 12 states, however many I listed, then definitely go out and vote and make a plan to do it. And I highly recommend doing it before Election Day, because that is a Tuesday, that is in the middle of the week. Nobody gives it as a day off. It really should be a day off. But even if it were to magically become a day off tomorrow, lines are still going to be out the door. So make a plan and do it just when you're able. and that's what matters. Go do it. And I'm sorry if you don't live in the United States of America and you watched all 10 minutes and 5 seconds of this video and wondered what the hell I'm talking about. So this one definitely targeted more at my American viewers. So you definitely want to go out, vote, and yeah, I mean, like I always say, the more people voting, the better. So last time I want to tell you, go do it. So I promise I won't talk about this again, not in a Wiz video at least. So I just needed y'all to hear this. Go do it. So thank y'all for watching. I have been iSkull. Be sure to like, subscribe, and leave like 50 comments for the algorithm. My Discord is down in the description if you want to chat with me some more. And I'm going to stretch this video out till it's 11:05, and I will see y'all later.